Remember Transact Card? Remember Finmore? Do you remember the person who co-founded Transact Card, Peter Rancy? Well, guess who's back? Earlier this year, Transact Card was a multi-level marketing company that is a pyramid scheme that collapsed, like suddenly changed into a new multi-level marketing company called Finmore, surprising all of its participants. And then shortly thereafter, it collapsed too, leaving a lot of people, a lot of these participants just like you can imagine with all these other multi-level marketing participants where they've announced that they've shifted to an affiliate model. But this one was just epic. And this is like where I've got flaming turkey from. So let me just kind of give you a very brief recap of what Transact Card and Finmore was all about. And then I'm going to get to this letter that was released by Peter Rancy. Thank you very much to my source for sending this to me. This is just nuts. I can't even believe this is going on. Transact Card was a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, and they had this little green card, like you were going to swipe this card and earn extra points with this card every time you made a purchase. And these points would be called Z-Bucks, and you would accumulate enough Z-Bucks and you would buy things at the Z Club store. And the things at the Z Club store were amazing things like toilet paper and Huggies diapers and like a gold chain and Under Armour clothing. And they'd have flash sales. And it really wasn't amazing deals. And not very many people, it never really seemed to work. You know, it always seemed to have a lot of things going wrong with it. They announced at one point that Bangor Bank was going to be their partner bank or whatever the language they used. And then people were calling this bank and they're like, we aren't. So one day, imagine recruiting for your multi-level marketing company. And the next day you wake up, you're like, I'm so excited. I got a new recruit. Welcome to the Transact Card family. The next day you get an email and they're like, well, we're not called Transact Card. We're called Finmore. And we're going to have an orange card. And instead of Z-Bucks in a Z Club store, we're going to have Fin credits in a Fin store. And so people were just, they're so brainwashed. It's sad. It's just like how you see with all these other multi-level marketing companies, and people just got swept right along. They're like, okay, no problem. Clearly this isn't a scam. It's just changed completely into another company. And some people started to wake up. And that's how I started to get really introduced to a lot more participants that were in this thing, because people were starting to give me more information. And I've got a lot of history with this fucking company, because the aftermath of this is people came out of this one and they started their own multi-level marketing company, of which I made a lot of pieces of content on.
None of the people from corporate from the previous program are involved, no matter what Julie Anderson and behind MLM and MLM insiders say. The corporate people,
And you'll notice if you followed me for any amount of time, you're like, where did all those videos go, Julie? Where did they suddenly disappear to? Is it true you received 2 cease and desists from this company? A lot of history with this shit. So anyway, Transact Card and Finmore. Now Finmore, one of these participants that are just like, orange is so powerful. Like green was a great color, but this orange card that we're supposed to get now to replace this green card, which all these participants never even got this green card to swipe anyway. Some people did when the first iteration of Transact Card. A few people had this green card and they took pictures of it, put it on Facebook, and then the whole thing collapsed. And nobody ever got this orange card anyway. So somebody had plugged into AI Finmore and they got a phoenix rising out of the ashes holding a Finmore credit card. And one of them said, like, it's AI. And I think it said John P. So I'm like Flaming Turkey. So now I use Flaming Turkey. Now Flaming Turkey has now landed on Make Wellness just because it's such a great description, right? But that's kind of like a little bit of background on that. Finmore also promised, you're going to swipe. You can still swipe this card. Don't worry about Transact card. We're going to take care of the family. Everything is going to be okay. You can buy Huggies diapers and toilet paper and laundry detergent at a special deal just for you in our store. And then you still got to pay an exorbitant amount of money because you can't just cash in all these fin credits that you're supposed to earn and then just get free shipping. Oh, no. You got to pay money on top of it and then pay for shipping. And then this Fin credit store, this Fin store, it never even came to be anyway. And they made announcement after announcement. I was all over this fucking thing. I made so many pieces of content on that. A lot of those pieces of content are up. Some are missing. But a lot are still up there. So anyway, thanks to my source, one of my sources, long time no see, sent me this. And so I don't know where this has been released. I don't know what group this is in, but this is from Peter Rancy. So let's just listen to what's going on here. So Peter, this is it. Marley was dead. There is no doubt that Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood or nothing wonderful can come of the story. Just as it was necessary for Dickens to make sure his audience knew that Ebenezer Scrooge's former partner, Jacob Marley, was dead, it is necessary for me to make sure that all and sundry know that Transact card is dead. I think you're getting a little bit of the flavor of how Transact card rolled. Oh, yes. All and sundry. All hail ye to the old ye candy shop. When it's like the old with the E on the end of it. I always mess around and then like the old candy shoppy instead of you don't pronounce the E. That's what I'm going for. Ye old 12 bells ring nigh, all and sundry Transact card is dead. We all know Transact card is dead. It was a collapsed pyramid scheme. But look at this. What has he been sitting on? Just like thinking of all his past mistakes. This is so strange. Exactly 6 months ago, April 12th, 2024, I announced the immediate and complete shutdown of Transact card and Finmore. Transact card and Finmore are deceased. It's so over the top. Wow. More than 500,000 businesses failed in the United States in the past year and every year. Transact card and Finmore are among those casualties, which means that there will not now or ever be any kind of reincarnation. Transact card has no life, no cash, no assets, no databases, no technologies, no systems, no business plans, no compensations plans, no refunds. Nothing from Transact card or Finmore will ever have a continuation or a new beginning. When that ship carried so many hopes and expectations went down, I was at the helm. I accept the responsibilities that go with being in charge of a foundered ship. I made my email address public. Citation 3, footnote. Despite the consensus against doing so from many professionals and colleagues, I have remained with the ship to collect and manage whatever bombshells might be lobbed my way. During the past 6 months, I've received emails or texts or been face-to-face with hundreds, perhaps thousands of the Transact card and Finmore family. A few have written to tell me how disgusted they are with me and the scam that I had supposedly perpetrated, including multiple threats offering to relieve me of limbs, even life. The fact is that Transact card was a real business with genuine offerings and expectations. Thus, the overwhelming majority have expressed their support for the social impact mission that we originally set out upon. I don't think so, bud. I know a lot of people woke up from multi-level marketing from this shit show. No matter what one's hope for Transact card and Finmore might have been, those businesses are dead, just like Marley. However, just like Marley, there is a legacy in the form of learned wisdom. Marley's message from the grave transformed Scrooge. I wonder if he's Scrooge. I mean, that would make sense. The wisdom of hindsight from Transact card's launch and tragic end still holds possibilities for reshaping numerous lives. More on that in the last paragraph. Ooh, that's a curiosity post if I've ever seen one. The April 12th memo was a kind of obituary. Like, this guy, it's so much. A multi-level marketing company collapsed. And it was this piece of shit pyramid scheme, one of many. And look at the delusions of grandeur. Still, 6 months this guy's been licking his wounds, just coming up with this, and then decides, today I am going, Marley. He probably had a meeting with David Schmidt from LifeWave. They're like, oh yes, this is fantastic. You should definitely write this. This is a kind of post-mortem memorial. As I have attended funerals, I have found a certain truth repeats itself in every instance. No matter how well I thought I knew the person being remembered, I learned many things that I did not know while they were living. The same has been proven true with Transact Card and Finmore. Finmore's the afterthought. It's always in brackets. Poor Finmore. This is most certainly not a eulogy, but several truths are more evident now than they were before. One, I did not realize until after we closed and analyzed the genealogy of Transact Card and Finmore how corrupted the family tree had been made by a few unscrupulous individuals who manipulated people and systems. By the way, Peter Rancy also gave a shout out to the anti-MLM movement as a reason why Transact Card and Finmore failed. I wonder who the corrupted family tree, the family pyramid scheme. Certainly there were timing, management, and administrative missteps along the journey, including a handful of inadequate leadership choices. Some of the biggest errors, with the benefit of hindsight, were partner choices. The failure of solid financial technologies as our banking platform intermediary was woeful. He has woken up. He's like a vampire that has woken up from like 1693. He went to bed. He's come up. The excavation, somebody was like putting in new sewage. And what is this? Somebody like the back, what the hell is it called? The backhoe. Clunk. And they're like, what is it, boss? I don't know, Jim. Let's call the supervisor. They're like, we better call archaeology. They come like, I've never seen anything like that. They bring it out. They put it into somebody's shed. It's Peter Rancy.
Christmas greetings, Transact Card family. We're coming to the end of 2023. The Christmas season is right upon us, and we're looking forward to 2024.
He wakes up, he comes out at night. He's like, my God, my company is woeful. It has been deceased. Treasury Prime, our intermediary with Bangor Savings Bank, was equally inadequate. They are calling Bangor Bank inadequate, and they never had any agreement with this bank. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to get even spicier. Ooh, Christmas came early. Further, we depended upon and subsequently overpaid the wrong, though highly recommended, technological team. Ooh, who are the players? What MLM are they with now? I wonder. How many more butthurt MLM CEOs are there going to be? Okay. They had excellent marketing credentials, but ultimately our tech stack lacked a full suite of compliance security standards. That is SOX, PCI, DSS, ISO, etc. Banks, credit unions, insurance companies, and other organizations that process cardholder data and information are firmly in threat actors' crosshairs and are reportedly 300 times more likely to be targeted by a cyber attack. Transact Card's tech was suitable for the initial rapid build, but not for sustainable growth for the next generation. Nor could it adequately fortify us with the protections that we could foresee would be needed against the hackers and fraudsters that infest the modern banking transaction world. Says somebody who started a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. You cannot make this shit up. Despite Transact Card having established viable contracts with multiple banking institutions, it is evident in hindsight that our community bank reinvigoration strategy would have had a limited shelf life and therefore could not become part of generational change. The Transact Card model was too revolutionary and too fledgling to withstand the present globalist regulatory forces at work in the United States that are deliberately shrinking the number of banks. It was only in the aftermath that we learned how many people, hundreds, if not thousands, he likes that phrase, had received rebates and even substantial commission payments, who still claimed refunds or chargebacks. They were double dipping. Everybody was at fault. The globalist forces, the banks, Bangor Savings Bank, even their participants, but not Peter Rancy. No, it's everybody else but his fault. It is clear that many hundreds of people had been coached externally to rort the system, evident in the identical word patterns visible in the chargeback claims. And I need to just go back to read what these footnotes say on the very bottom of the page, because he's actually put little notes. 1, these lines are from the first page of Charles Dickens' wonderful tale of redemption, A Christmas Carol. He writes a letter and he has these little citations and these little footnotes at the end. Whoa, what the fuck? If you're just coming onto my content, this might be just enough. But if you want to like go back into the lore, I have a playlist about Transact Card and Finmore. You're not even gonna believe it. A lot of other anti-MLM content creators covered this too. 2, I've included Finmore in this memo, but it is shown in brackets each time because while Transact Card actually had life and merit, Finmore was an entity that was ill-conceived, improperly proposed, and consequently sucked the life out of Transact Card. Yes. That wasn't what you were saying at the time.
Greetings, Finmore community. It's good to be with you once again. You know, we know that the Finmore store and the anticipated Finmore debit card swipes, they're the core of the Finmore business owner story. And
you're like, Finmore is amazing. What about that poor person that made the Phoenix Rising with John P. with the credit card? Suck the life out of Transact Card. You bastard child, be gone with you, to the wall you go. It's Jon Snow. Oh my God. Once again, I accept responsibility for being at the helm, but the lessons learned in terms of alignment of people's motivations and priority will have a lasting legacy. 3, and then he put his email down there. Onto the next page here. This is fantastic. Such coaching was encouraging people to commit what federal regulator FinCEN.gov defines as personal fraud. Wow, I wonder if he knows what the definition of fraud is, what the definition of a pyramid scheme is. Unbelievable. Look at this. Consider for a moment the negative impact that such rampant double dipping had on those who were still seeking legitimate refunds prior to the shutdown. Wow, he is still playing this violin. This company shut down April the 12th. This is November the 1st today. What the hell is he up to? What's going on? Ooh, what's going on? It was interesting to see reports, spurious reports from people who should know better, spanking for you, that somehow I had created a trust fund in which I kept as much as $20 million for personal gain. Whereas the fact is that every net dollar I had ever collected from my previous lifetime, that was from 1693 when he was put away in that coffin, was invested in, tied up in, left inside Transact Card and Finmore. It has been a time of mourning to watch jobs disappear, TCMs wondering what it was all about, while DBOs and FBOs have either gone elsewhere or put their hopes on pause. It's just like slinging the mud at the FBOs. Never mind all the people that signed up with Finmore After Transact Card had collapsed, they brought in new people, people that weren't even from Transact Card. And now this guy who was at the helm saying, well, Finmore just sucked the life out of it. What, you weren't saying that to all your participants in all those Zoom meetings. In brackets all the time. Poor little Finmore is just like popping out. Like, don't forget me. I have been in almost every state during the past 6 months, meeting in homes, restaurants, hotels, and business establishments with DBOs and TCMs. DBOs were their participants that thought they were a business opportunity, and TCMs are like, I think they were like the customers of the VIPs kind of thing, like if you an equivalent of Monate kind of thing. I know the stories. I know the pain, for which I have much empathy because my fate is the same. There's another little quote let's scroll down to the bottom. For the record, I have thousands of times more left and lost than anyone else. My family has paid a greater financial price than anyone and shared the emotional and reputational toll with everyone. That is not a complaint. I am at the helm. It is just a fact. Can you imagine putting a fucking footnote like that and like actually typing it in? This is so nuts. Welcome to multi-level marketing. I do believe, however, that the lessons learned will prove more valuable to the social impact mission and to the end benefit for those who pinned some of their families' hopes on Transact Card for reasons that will be evident over time. The permanent, sustainable, and positive outcome for which we all hoped would not, in hindsight, have been possible for the hopelessly mired red tape of banking regulators and the manipulated maze that Transact Card and Finmore had become. For the record, I have taken the unusual step of publishing, again against sage advice, the financial summary for the Transact Card and Finmore businesses. The tax returns have been prepared and lodged by major accounting firm ID Bailey, top tier CPA / accounting firm. HTTPS has the website. This is the true story and the final end of the Transact Card tale. More went out than came in. In italics. Note, the largest expenditure category by far was commissions and rebates. It was a fine mission with an untimely and inadequate execution. While many of the working parts came to fruition in one way or another, banks, stores, cards, rewards, flash sales, etc., the whole structure did not ever completely align. Why? Because almost everything was misaligned, except the social impact mission and the good hearts of so many people who joined in the mission and still have hope that it will come to fruition. Sadly, there will never be another public statement about Transact Card. No reincarnation, no next, nada. Some who were part of Transact Card or Finmore will launch their own business concepts. Good for them. I wish them well. However, if anyone tells you that they have figured out how to do banking and cards and retail stores equal to or better than the concept of Transact Card with its dollar for dollar rewards on everyday spending, do not believe them. It's just not true. It has not been done. It cannot be done by dilettantes. It cannot be done by shareholder-driven enterprises, no matter how well capitalized. All in italics. Transact Card and Finmore income, $26 million, including Q1 2024. It only lasted until Q1 2024. Commissions and rebates, 10 million. Refunds, 2 million. Flash sales marketing, 2.5 million. Events, conferences, 2 million. Salaries, about 30 staff, 3.2 million. IT technology, 4.5 million. Office rent, attorneys, accountants, insurances, travel, etc. 2.8 million. Total expenditures, 27 million. Net income, minus 1 million. Well, it sounds to me like you're a shit businessman. Maybe you shouldn't have opened a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. Jesus Christ. This isn't rocket science, man. Private stashes, secret accounts, unaccounted for expenditures, personal reserves, 0. Can you imagine publishing this? Holy shit, this is awesome. Look at this. Private stashes and secret amounts, $0. I made this on Canva, you guys. No excuse for you not to believe me. And now here we go. This is the pièce de résistance. They have sailed on the ship to unknown lands, bequeathed untold riches unto various populations, and now we shall get to the finale. There is something else in the works, but new wine will not be put into old bottles. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine doth burst the bottles, and the wine is spilled, and the bottles will be marred. But new wine must be put into new bottles. Though there will not be now or ever a reincarnation of Transact card, there is something else. That's capitalized, by the way, capital S and capital E. Oh, hey, Napoleon Hill, how's it going? There is light on the horizon. Something else has no dependency upon and no use for any of the infrastructure, intellectual properties, databases, or any other aspect of Transact card. Footnote 5. Let's scroll down and see what this says. It's going to be fantastic. Since no corporate databases or record caches or technologies of the defunct businesses are being deployed for distribution or any other purposes, readers of this document should feel free to pass this message on to whomever they think would want to be informed. Nothing should be added, nothing should be implied beyond what is written herein. Holy shit. Holy shit. The entire corporate structure related to that enterprise is laid to rest. The good news is that a few able and willing souls working without compensation, working outside the box, traveling coast to coast within the United States and exploring other countries and regions have been able to find alignment with vast international interests whose trustworthiness, capital resources, technical prowess, and vision for change are so much greater than what we thought possible. The social impact mission remains and is now aligned with much greater resources. The dimensions, the responsibilities, the technological demands, and the capital requirements entrenched in this coalition are well beyond any scope that might have been possible in the now defunct enterprise. Please note, though I did not write this in the April 12th memo, I did voice it several times in the various meetings I attended and repeat it here for the record. No one who stays the journey has lost anything. It's a matter of time. When? Not if. The global interests with which we have aligned, recognizing the value of the proof of concept, that was Transact card, have agreed to make provision on a basis to be determined for those who stayed the course. Marley is dead. Transact card is dead. Something else is in the works. No one should expect to see anything until 2025. Meantime, neither I nor Transact card can squeeze anything from nothing. Still, I am irrevocably committed, success or the grave, to the social impact mission that gave so much hope to so many. Welcome to multi-level marketing. Go back through my content. I created so much content on Transact card and Finmore, and those pieces of content still stand. You'll hear about a guy named Richard Smith who was convicted. He's a felon.
LeBron James was a fascinating one, and I'm the one that took the call, so I'll tell you that story. I like telling the stories because most people can start to relate with, wow, this is something big here. So it was about 18, 19 months ago, I talked to LeBron James. Talked to him by myself, just him and I and one of his agents. And basically, he told me the story about what he did with Twitter. He calls his followers on Twitter his peeps. So at the time, he had 25 million peeps or 25 million followers. He tweeted out a 2-for-1 Domino's pizza and sold over $13 million worth of pizza with that one tweet. Wow. They gave him $1 million and they made $13+ million. And it was a very successful Twitter campaign. Once he fully understood and grasped what we were doing with the Transact ecosystem and the fact that he could have his face on that card. Now, granted, we're not just going to let anybody have their own card, their own face on their card. Somebody that's got 10,000 or more clients, yeah, we'll go through the rigmarole to get approve with the banking structure and with Visa to have a branded card. So yes, that's a possibility. But he came in and said, all right, I want to call mine the championship card and I want to tweet it out. And let me get this straight. I'm like, okay, LeBron, what? Every time somebody swipes, I get paid. I said, yeah, 10 basis points. You're going to give me 1/10 of what interchange pays back. I said, not 1/10, 10 basis points. He's like, that's a lot of money. I said, it can be. And he goes, no, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, it can be. And he goes, and you're going to pay me that forevermore? And I said, yes, we are. And he's like, can I move my merch into your Z Club? And Patrick, I'm like, merch, what the crap is he talking about? He was talking about his merchandise. So he's got his
swag.
And swag. He's got his swag, and he's going to discontinue it with all the retail establishment and the wholesale distributors that he's been dealing with and move it into our Z Club so that his peeps can swipe the cards, get a better discount than they can get anywhere else for his merchandise. He'll make a bigger margin. Everybody's happy. Plus, he kept going back. Now, if they go to Disneyland and they swipe the card, I'm getting paid. I said, yes, LeBron, you're getting paid. He goes, this is the most incredible thing in the world. Well, that was, like I said, 19 months ago. And just a couple of weeks ago, I got a call from his executive secretary saying, where are we with this thing? I said, you need to go talk to your people because your agents and your attorneys keep slowing down the deal.
One question we were asked is if the card can be white labeled or the DBOs, and that's one of the things that actually appealed to us is the way you're bringing on influencers that are branding their own Visa card. And I mean, maybe the two of the biggest are the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention. You took it to Trump, and then he took it to Obama, from what I've heard.
That's exactly right.
It was really smart because whether you like Trump or Obama doesn't matter. But he said if we don't both support this, then one of us is going to kill it, right?
If you're just stumbling into the Transact card and Finmore lore, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.